Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call the regular council meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That concludes an invocation, please.
Absolutely. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, today we are indeed grateful for this day that you've given us, and God, grateful for this beautiful weather that you've graced us with today. God, as we come together as a town who loves our community and want to see it prosper, we ask that you, in the midst of us, as the town council makes decisions tonight for the future of the town, we pray that you work in them, through them, and among them. And God, be with us, and so that all that is done gives glory to you. For Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. First on the agenda is the special presentation and request. We have a request to waive personal property tax for active duty military. Mr. Blevins is not here, but he did provide a letter which I'll read. Letter dated October 28, 2021 to the town of Tazewell. I, Phil Blevins Jr., am grateful for you allowing total disabled veterans to be exempt from paying property tax and one vehicle tax. Thank you. I am one of those disabled veterans. I'd like to bring to your attention, we have some active duty military with vehicles in our town I think should also be exempt from paying vehicle property tax. My son is a U.S. Marine stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. This is his first year there, and I received his tax bill this week and I paid them for him. These men and women don't make that much money to begin with and are deployed many months each year. When they are deployed, they don't receive separate rations to feed their families, so they're stretched for their service to their country already. There can't be that many active duty service people in our town, and it would show these men, sons, and daughters we support them here at home. I feel it should be for active duty only. I thank you for your time on this issue and hope you will pass a law allowing active duty personnel to be exempt from paying taxes on at least one of their vehicles. Thank you for your time. Philip H. Blevins Jr. So I would say we give Todd the opportunity to do a little research on this and maybe see what other localities are doing and to see what kind of effect it would have on the town. And maybe this time at our next meeting we can bring it up again and have a vote on it.
Absolutely.
So next is continuing concerns, Mr. Jamal Viney, who is not here. Okay, so we will move on. There's no new business to recognize. So now we need a motion to approve the minutes of the council meeting on October 12th, 2021.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed state so by saying nay. All right, so motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next are the approval of financial statements and financial report from October 2021. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed state so by saying nay. All right, October financial reports and statements are approved. Next is committee and conference updates. Planning Commission Committee, Councilmember Davis.
Planning Commission met last Monday. We had two items that we reviewed. One is is it special exemption? Special exception. Yeah. The special exception permit to run an Airbnb out of a business. That's going to be coming up a little bit later in our agenda. There was also talk of amending the Town of Tazewell bylaws and the Historic Board bylaws to incorporate a change recommended by the Department of Historic Resources so that we can get the certified local government. Is that right, Susan? Okay. There are just very few minor changes, and this is something that they recommended that we did so we could be in compliance, that we could be a certified local government, which would put us in a category that we would apply for more funding on various things. So, and that is also coming up a little bit later. And we both recommended that we set public hearings on both of those. So, and those would come up later.
Any questions? Okay, so now we're going to the unfinished business portion of our meeting. So first is the approval of town charter amendment. Attorney Pyatt?
Yes, you all had, of course, public hearing earlier this evening with regard to changes to two specific section and subsection of Article 6. It's just basically a matter of making those two changes that were recommended actually to the Planning Commission, which would be under Section 6-12 to change the quorum requirements with regard to the Planning Commission to make 4 members constituting a quorum, and with regard to the Board of Zoning Appeals having their terms to be for a term of 5 years, both in compliance with what the Virginia Code recommends. You need to have a vote on that, and we'll basically submit that as to request from the council to the General Assembly. And I'd like to have it as a roll call vote, please.
Just for that, I didn't catch all that at the end there. How many did you talk about?
Which one, Dave? Because there were 2 different changes. One, with the existing Planning Commission quorum requirements under our town code is calls for 5. There are 8 members, of which there are only 7 are voting. We had a quorum of 5, which basically made 5 out of 7. It's made it difficult sometimes to get 5 and 7 members. Since Todd is a member, he's a non-voting member. So that's a reduction to 4 in the existing code. With regard to the Board of Zoning Appeals, it's just a matter of making the terms 5-year terms. Our existing charter allows for successive terms of 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This basically brings it into line with the state code that allows for terms of 5 years each.
So can I get a motion to make the recommended changes by Attorney Pyatt to Section 6? Brad, is that
Section 6-12 and subsection 6-231.
I will make a motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, so you wanted a roll call vote?
Yes, I get a second discussion.
Okay, any discussion? All right, I need a roll call vote. Councilmember Mullins? Aye. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Catron?
Aye.
Councilmember Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Fox?
Aye.
Councilmember Beasley?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Go ahead and submit that into our legislators, but in
Okay,
the
thank
House
you.
and Senate side.
But I don't think there was any miscellaneous items that I had seen. No. So next is our new business section, and need to vote on setting a public hearing for proposed changes to the Town Code and Historic Review Board bylaws for December 14th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. Susan, do you have any discussion to have on that, or do you just need the vote?
I think we just needed the vote on it so that we can make the changes to the code.
Okay. So can I get a motion to set the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
For discussion, for what I'll do, I'll basically have the amendments, so the changes, and I'll have them basically full within the next week or so they can be on record here for review for anyone pursuant to the public hearing notice.
Excellent, thank you. So, all in favor, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. Okay, so we'll set the Town Code and Historic Review Board bylaws discussion for 7 p.m. December 14th. Next, we need to set a public hearing for a special exception permit request for an Airbnb at 2791 Fincastle Turnpike for December 14th, 2021 at 7:15. Mr. Hurley.
First page of the new business. Matt Payne actually paid for the special exception permit because he owns the land, I mean the house, and the land, of course. But the owner of the, I think it's called the Dragon Inn or something on Dogwood Road, it's the same guy that's buying this house. He's wanting to do the same thing with it, rent it out, short term. And for us to do that, we have to go through the exception process. I have to notify all the neighbors around this house. The second page there shows you the map. Gives you the reference. The far top is the old McCann building where Grandscape and all that is. And next to the 2807 is the big blue building, which used to be like an indoor flea market. But the red bullseye is where Mac is selling his house to Adams Lantern. So you have to visit the public hearing and have any of the neighbors come and voice their opinions if they want to.
Chris, as an Airbnb, does that mean it would just rent as one unit, not multiple units? Not more than one room? Or do you know?
It's a single-family home, so they probably rent it like a 4-bedroom, single-family.
Right, so I talked to the gentleman today, I actually gave him the foosball for the table for the game room, putting in there, and it's for,
It's what?
it's a group of, it's for groups of people.
He wouldn't rent like 4 different rooms?
No, it would be,
Not like he's doing on Dogwood, I mean, because that one's 5 rooms, but it doesn't have to be all 5 same people, does it?
I think normally they do rent it as a group there.
Okay.
Well, you can have like, be family or could be a bunch of friends.
right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
And he's got a guy on the staff to take care of that.
Well, I'm sure that's a question I'm going to be asked, and I need to,
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah.
since I live in that neighborhood, I'm going to be asked that question, and I want to make sure I give the right answer.
Yeah, you won't get that, but the lady down there at the corner will.
I know. Close by.
Yeah.
Is that where Lermers used to live? That yellow house?
No, it's on the
No,
outside.
it's like green.
It's the white, black, and.
No, I mean the neighbor that you're gonna give it to.
What's her name?
David's old house, dude.
Wolford?
That's the one.
Wolford's.
Wolford, right there.
131 Joshua.
Yeah, 131 Joshua.
Wolford's, oh, that's good. Yes.
Warford lives at 159 Kingston.
So right down here would be on down there, it would be great.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's still going on.
You know how there's like 2.
But they look at it all the
We're good. So can I get a motion to set the public hearing for 7:15, December 14th?
So moved.
I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, state so by saying nay. All right, so that'll be set for 7:15 on December 14th. So next is the approval to submit funding application to BDH for Buskell Subdivision project. Manager Day?
Okay, if you will recall, we were awarded a $75,000 grant and an additional $25,000 grant for obviously a total of $100,000 to do a PER on Buskell Subdivision. That's 100% funded, by the way. And what we're wanting to do is go after additional funds to do the project.
What's the project?
It's the Buskell Subdivision that Rick Chitwood came and spoke about, the water tanks, the dilapidated tanks at Buskell and Pekin.
Okay, all right.
So they're 100% funded for the PER, but with all the money,
PER stand for?
professional engineering report. But with all the money that's flying around, Jim Baldwin echoed, we felt it was important to just try to submit an application for funding of that potential future project that's out there. We've got our applications in for everything else, and ironically, in order to get free money, y'all heard me say this before, y'all have to vote on it.
So can I get a motion to allow Todd to submit funding application to BDH for the Buskell Subdivision project?
Motion.
I guess second, any discussion? All in favor, state so by saying aye. All opposed, state so by saying nay. All right. Apply for free money. Thanks. So next is Manager Day, the employee Christmas dinner, Thursday, December 9th.
Yes, our annual employee Christmas dinner, just want you to mark it on your calendar. December 9th, 6:30 p.m. VIP room.
Billy's little she's got.
You want this? You need them by Friday, right here.
Tonight would be good.
Since we're all here,
Friday's okay.
you want to make a special trip out.
Yeah.
Fill it out and can't come, just call her by Saturday morning.
All right, so, no miscellaneous items. Anyone sign in, Chief? No one signed in for the miscellaneous public comment. So item 11, council comments.
No,
Look, what time it is?
it's not,
Oh my.
just be quick. It's not a bad thing.
Groundhog.
This is a reference, no, forget the groundhog, I'll take care of that. Leaf pickup, I had somebody request to see if
Yeah,
town is doing a leaf pickup.
yeah, we'll put that on Facebook, social media this week.
You it for a while?
Yeah, it dragged out.
That was on Harmon Street.
Can I talk, please?
You can.
All right. I'd like to thank the town for continuing to do the community dinner. Saturday, we had a tremendous turnout. Dorothy White and Ronnie helped do the cooking and supply the stuff for us. And then we had numerous volunteers. We had participants from the sheriff's office. Of course, the staff over here, the girls from over here on this side came over and helped serve food and everything. And people came in and were really glad that they could come in and sit down and eat and kind of have a little fellowship. And I really appreciate y'all doing that. Also, I want to make a comment about the Veterans Parade. If you didn't come, you really missed it, but it was really good. And I think Miss Mitchell and Floor and Sonny and them threw that thing together in about 2 weeks. But it was really, really, really good. So if you see them people, I'd like you to show your appreciation.
Absolutely. Love this great event.
Very nice.
And just one more thing. Next year, can we have trick or treat up here? That's a
Is that
mess.
a disaster? Okay.
I understand why they did it, but it's really a mess. People were in line for 2 hours to go through that thing.
Well, hopefully it won't have to be a drive-in. We can let the.
Yeah, we had like 700 people come through there, and it took 2 hours to go through.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
there's no way to shorten it up.
I kind of like it on the street.
They only had, Robin said they only had like,
It's like, what, 7 or 8 participants?
Maybe 8 or 9. maybe.
Yeah.
The rest were just people.
But it took 2 hours to get through it. It's just
The
part-time for
biggest
kids to sit that long in the car.
the biggest event I've ever seen in town since 2012 was the Trumpet Tree on Main Street. It was absolutely, and it's been 5, 6 years ago. It was off the hook.
It was on Saturday.
There was a line
This
going
first
down
year I was
Pine
here,
Street
you know.
and Church Street, and there wasn't no line. It was crazy.
We gave out tons of candy that night.
I thought it was sort of interesting too that,
That was 17. That's a year standing, this year, first year.
if you go to social media, of course, you can find anything. But we were really bombarded for having Halloween on Halloween this year. And 5 years ago, we got lambasted for moving Halloween from Halloween. So maybe that tells us a little lesson about social media.
They all
Hey, I think that it worked out perfect because the kids didn't have school the next day, so it was.
And the weather was nicer on Sunday than it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
I would make a suggestion though. We took the kids down to Tazewell Avenue, and Tazewell Avenue had people were running across the street.
We might want to look into a way to close
Close
that
the
off.
street or make, I
Lock it up.
don't, not necessarily close the street, but some way we can,
Part of the problem too.
They had 2 officers, do you have any officers patrolling that?
It just resurfaced and they hadn't marked it, so it's
Yeah.
very, very black.
It was.
There
was
was kids
very dark
everywhere. I
going
came
down
through
through there.
town during I left out there just to be with them, so there was kids everywhere. I rode all over town.
Oh, yeah.
I just think, we just need to teach people to be
You're gonna have
careful when they cross and be lit, show some type of reflective stuff on them, just a little education. And I think we can take care of that by going to the schools
2 officers.
and teaching the,
Whole
teaching the,
Five years.
safety for Halloween.
Safety.
yeah, that's a good idea.
It got striped the next day.
Dog Rock is just as bad.
Oh, yeah, Dog Rock was
People
crazy.
pass and go around.
Yeah, it's
Lazier parents will drive and follow their kids, and then the people get upset and they'll go around.
But I think if we have the control of it, we won't have a lot of it.
Right.
Just sit down in front, bag, big bag,
Well, we
candy,
use
knife,
your
one came up.
side,
I saw one walking out there.
Yeah, it's still down.
See if it works.
Any other comments? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Can I get a second? All in favor of adjourning, stay so by saying aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. Meeting adjourned.
Beat the record.